Hi, everyone, and welcome to Movement Mondays. I am Alex Weaver. For tonight's class, all you'll need is a yoga mat or a towel, something comfortable to lay on, water, and then also something that is sturdy enough for you to sit on and possibly stand on. So I'm going to check the stream. Today it might be a little different because I'm running both the stream and also the class. So bear with me. We'll get started here in just a second. All right, so as always, feel free to comment if you have questions. Like I said, we'll get started here in just a few. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So like I said, all you need for today's class is water, a yoga mat or towel, or just an area of the floor that's comfortable for you to do exercises on, and then something that is sturdy enough for you to sit on and possibly stand on. So like a chair, a step, a box, just something sturdy enough for you to put your body weight on. So we are going to start today with some walkouts. So you can go ahead and stand at the edge of your mat. You're going to walk your hands out into the plank position and then all the way back, standing up nice and tall, reaching for the ceiling, and repeating 5 times. Great. So on this last one, we're going to walk our hands out into a plank position. And then we're going to bring one leg forward and open up toward that leg and then switch sides. So let's do 3 each side. And then go ahead and come into a kneeling position. We're going to do a set of 5 cat-cows. So inhaling up into your spine and exhaling down. Inhaling up. We're going to do a set of 5. Exhaling down. And relax. So we did these a few classes ago. I'm going to walk everyone through these again. We're going to do some thoracic rotations where you're laying on your side. So you're going to lay on your side, knees bent and stacked on top of each other. You can extend your arm of the shoulder that's on the ground out in front of you if you'd like. You're going to take the other hand, put it behind your head. Bring your elbow over, almost like you're bringing it towards your wrist. And then slowly open away as far as you can without letting your hips or knees move. So this movement is only happening in your upper body. So we're going to do 5 per side, nice and slow. Keep breathing. So on that 5th one, you can go ahead and switch sides. So switch the side you're laying on, same thing. Knees stacked and bent. Arm extended. Bringing that other arm forward and opening back. Great. All right. So flipping over, we're going to lay on our stomach. And we're going to do a set of 12 super people. So forehead to the ground. And then you're going to lift up, hold, back down for a set of 12. So up and down. Perfect. So go ahead and sit back into child's pose. You can rest your head on the ground. We're just going to sink into this for a few seconds and take some deep breaths. When you're ready, we're going to stand up. So this time you want to make sure your feet are about hip width apart. You're going to sit into a deep squat. Reach for your toes. Keep your elbows on the insides of your knees, pushing those knees out. Try to keep your chest up. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. You can shift your weight side to side. It's okay if you can't sit this deep into your squat. You want to just go to where it's comfortable. And then you're going to come up into a hamstring stretch. Holding just for a few seconds. You can shift your weight around a little bit. And then back down. This time, if you want, you can just use your elbows to push out your knees. Again, you can shift your weight a little side to side. Great. And then coming on up into that hamstring stretch again. And slowly coming all the way up. You can reach for the sky. Grab your right wrist and pull slightly away. Switch, grab your left wrist, pull slightly away. One more time each side. And then last but not least, let's drop our arms to our side. We're going to do some rotations for our neck. So bring your chin to your chest. Slowly rotate. Looking all the way around. Back to center. A few more reps. Roll your shoulders. Maybe get some arm circles. Start going forward. and backward. Bigger circles, and shake it out. So anything you feel like you need to stretch, go ahead and stretch. Grab a sip of water, and I'm going to talk us through our first circuit today. Okay, so circuit one today is glute bridges, bird dogs, squats, and a plank. So glute bridges, you can either do single leg or together. You're going to lay on your back, engaging your core, so pulling your belly button towards your spine, and then you're going to press up using your glutes and hamstrings, hold for a second, and come back down. If you want to do single leg, you can either hold your leg like this or extend it. It's up to you. Same thing, engage your core, drive up through your glutes, and back down, keeping that core engaged throughout the movement. So on the other side, like I said, you can also extend fully, driving through that glute. So either option works. Secondly, we're going to do bird dogs. So for bird dogs, you are in the same position as the cat cow we did earlier. You are engaging your core, extending opposite arm, opposite leg, and then switching sides. Just like that. Squats. So I'm talking about squats a lot. So for squats, this is where if you have a chair or something that you want to squat to, that's going to be handy. So for squats, feet need to be at least hip width apart. You're engaging your core, sitting back into your hips, knees come forward and out, and then back up. So if you feel like your knees are caving in, try to drive them out. Think of activating your outer hips, so sitting back, letting those knees come out, keeping the core engaged. If you feel like your squat looks more like this, where you're leaning really far forward, what I would try doing first is elevating your heels. So you can take a couple of books that are a ½ to 1 inch thick, put them under your heels, keep the front of your foot solidly on the ground, and still put your weight evenly through your foot. You're sitting back and coming up. If your calves are tight, this can help take the tension out of your calves so that you don't lean forward as far. Another thing you can do is you can squat to a bench or a box. So I have my bench here, so you can also squat, and if you feel like you're losing your balance, you can sit down and stand right back up. So either of those are fine. Just keep in mind that you want to keep your core engaged and hips or feet at least hip width apart. Last but not least for this round, we have plank. So for a plank, lots of variations. You can do, if you still have your chair out and you want to do an elevated plank, you can do an elevated plank like this or like this. Then you could do half kneeling plank like this or on your hands, or you can even do full extension plank on your hands or full extension plank on your elbows. So any of those are perfectly fine. And that is going to be our first circuit today. So grab a sip of water. We're going to get started here in just a few. All right. So remember, we're starting with glute bridges today. So 10-second countdown, and then we are starting. Remember, if you're doing single leg, I'll tell you when to switch. If you're doing both, you can just keep going straight through. 10-second countdown. And switch legs. Great job. All right, so flip on over. We're gonna do a set of bird dogs. So 10-second countdown. Great job. All right. So next up, we have those squats. Remember, if you feel like your calves are tight, you can always elevate your heels. And we have a 10-second countdown. And go. Great job. So last but not least for this round, we have a plank. So any variation that feels comfortable for you. 10-second countdown. We're on it. Great job. So grab some water, and then we're going to repeat this whole circuit here in just a minute. So a few more seconds of rest, and then we are back at it with those glute bridges. All right. So head on back to your mats. We have a 10-second countdown. And then we are doing glute bridges. Remember, you can do single leg or both leg. And I'll call out halfway for those of you doing single leg so you can switch. So 10-second countdown. And switch legs. Great job. So flip on over. We have a set of bird dogs. So countdown. 10 seconds. Great job. So next up, we have squats. 10-second countdown. And go. Great job. So last but not least for this circuit, we have another plank. All right. So 10-second countdown, and then here we go. And rest. So grab some water, and I'm going to talk us through our next circuit. All right. So circuit 2 today is push-ups. I can't read my own handwriting. Swimmers, lunges, and dead bugs. So push-ups. So actually, I'm going to go from easiest to hardest for push-up variations. So easiest is going to be on a wall, elevated. So hands, feet about, shoulder width apart, coming in, pressing. You might have to have your hands a little lower so that you can come in and press from your chest. You want to make sure you're keeping your core engaged, just like with a plank, and your elbows are coming out at 45. So not up here, not super close, right in the middle. From there, you can do, if that feels too easy, you can use a chair or something similar to do an elevated push-up. You can do your elevated push-up either like this, coming in, pressing, or you can do even kneeling, pressing like this. You can also do either kneeling or full extension push-ups. So your kneeling push-up is going to look similar. So hands under your shoulders, coming down, pressing from the chest, keeping the core engaged. And then lastly, full extension, which is the same thing, like this, pressing from the chest. I personally am going to use this to get a neutral grip. So if you find that your wrists bother you, you can either do a fist push-up like this, or you can even do, which actually, maybe I'll do that. Let's see. I'll switch it up. But, or you can hold a couple of dumbbells and then do your push-ups on the dumbbells as grips to kind of keep that locked wrist instead of bent back. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be swimmers. So we've done these before, very similar to super people. You're laying on your stomach, your arms are extended, and you are raising opposite arm, opposite leg, just like this. So nice and slow and controlled. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Third, we have lunges, which I'm going to let you do whatever variation of lunge you want. So you can do a forward lunge where you're alternating sides. You can do a reverse lunge where you're stepping back. Any of those that you want. You do a walking lunge, even lateral lunge, so wide stance, coming over and back, that's fine too. So any of those are fine. And then last but not least are dead bugs. So dead bugs, you are laying on your back, opposite arm, opposite leg extending, keeping your core engaged, drawing your belly button in towards your spine so that your back stays pressed to the floor. You don't want back arch for these. And then if coordinating arms and legs, you find that challenging, there's 2 things you can do. 1, you can put opposite hand to opposite leg, do one side at a time, like this, and do like 5 reps, switch sides, 5 reps, switch sides. Or you can do just legs, so keeping your arms at your side, extending, just like this. Or the simplest version would be bringing your belly button in towards your spine, and then slowly marching like this to engage your core, keeping that back pressed to the floor and core engaged throughout. One last thing about the lunges, if for whatever reason lunges bother your knees, or really anything in general, 2 things. 1, make sure the leg that's forward, whether you're stepping back or you're coming forward, you don't want your knee coming in, you want your knee to stay to the outside of your big toe. When your knee is coming in this way, you're going to have a harder time being able to exert force to get up. So you want to keep that knee to the outside so that your outer hip is also working. 2, if you are feeling a lot of strain on your quads, pay attention to where you're putting your weight. So if I'm stepping forward into a lunge and all my weight's in my toes, my quad is doing all the work. But if my foot is firmly on the ground and the weight's spread evenly, then my whole leg is able to do the work instead of just the front muscle group. So pay attention to those little things that'll help. And then if those still don't help, what I would do is I would do either seated marching like this, or even more squats. It's up to you. But just do something to keep moving for the duration of those lunges. So that is going to be our second circuit. We're going to start in just a second with those push-ups. So let's do a 10-second countdown, and then we are at it with these push-ups. And go. Great job. So next up we have swimmers. So on your stomach, we have a 10-second countdown, and then we are back on it. So ready? 10-second countdown. Great job. So we are on those lunges. So remember, any variation you want, or you can modify this into something else that is lower body or movement for the duration of the 30 seconds. Or sorry, 45 seconds. All right, so 10-second countdown, and we are go. And go. Great job. So last but not least, we have those dead bugs. So on your back, 10-second countdown, and here we go. Great job. So grab some water. We have one more time through that circuit, and then a few more things, and we're done for today. All right, a few more seconds. We are starting with those push-ups. So 10-second countdown, and we are doing some push-ups. And go. Great job. All right. So next up, we have swimmers. 10-second countdown. Lay on your stomach. Remember, slow and controlled with these. And go. All right, so it's lunch time. That sounded remarkably like lunchtime, but no, it's lunch time. 10-second countdown. And go. Great job. So last but not least, for this circuit, we have dead bugs, and then we have 3 more things and you're done for today. So 10-second countdown. And go. right. So grab a sip of water. We have one side plank per side, a set of leg raises, and then some balance stuff. And that is it for today. So side plank, we're going to do 30 seconds per side. See if I can edit the clock properly this time. Great, did it. Okay, so 10-second countdown. So side planks real quick. You are either fully extended like this, coming up, or you are bending your knees and coming up from your knee. So either way, you're engaging everything on your side to stay up. You can also do a side plank on your hand. It bothers my wrist, so I don't do it that way, but you are totally welcome to. So 10-second countdown, we're going to do 30 seconds per side. And go. Great job. 10-second countdown, switch sides. And go. Great job. Okay, so a couple more things left. So first off, leg raises. So laying on your back, we're going to do 30 seconds continuously of leg raises. So you can put your hands under your butt, start with your legs up. You can lower them towards the ground and then come back up, keeping your core engaged. Very similar to those dead bugs we did earlier. You also can do single leg if you'd like, keeping that core engaged. So 10-second countdown. We're just going to do this for 30 seconds. And go. All right. So last but not least, we have a fun drill for balance. So there's a couple ways you can do this. So depending on how stable you feel, option one, you can just stand. Make sure there's nothing near you that you could fall onto and injure yourself. You're standing on one leg, and you can just hold the other leg as you will, keeping your core engaged. If you want to make it a little harder, you can bring that leg up to here and hold. Keep your core engaged. Find a spot to look at to balance. You can also do a dynamic. So if you'd like, you can do standing on one leg, reaching forward, out to the side and back, like this. Or if maybe you feel like you're a little nervous about your balance, that's totally cool. What you're going to do is stand next to something that you can just tap your hand on. So you can balance on one leg and then maybe just have something nearby. So if you start to lose your balance, you just grab that. So easiest is going to be just like this. And then you can come here, and if you want to make it dynamic, going like this, you also can. We're going to do 30 seconds per leg balance, and then you are done for today. So 10-second countdown. Choose which leg you'd like to start with. I personally will start with my left leg, which is my hardest, and we will begin in a few. And go. So remember, engage your core, find a spot to look at. And switch legs, last thing of the day. 10-second countdown. 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure you're breathing. And that is it for today. So as always, thank you all for attending Movement Mondays. I am Alex Weber. This class happens every Monday at 6 p.m., same time, same place. Thank you, Thundermist, for sponsoring this class, and hope to see you all next week. Thanks again.